V by Nikolai Gogol. Horror Novella. Part 10. When Spirid finished his story, talk came from all sides about the merits of the former huntsman. "And have you heard about Shepchika?" said Dorosh, addressing Homer. "No." "Oh ho, then it's clear they don't teach you much sense there in your seminary. Well, listen, in our settlement there's a Cossack named Sheptun. A good Cossack. He likes to steal or tell a lie sometimes without any need, but a good Cossack. His place isn't far from here. At this same time as we are now having supper, Sheptun and his wife finished eating and went to bed, and since the weather was fine, Shepchika slept inside on the floor, and Sheptun outside on a bench. And in a cradle that hung in the middle of the hut lay their 1-year-old baby, I don't know whether of male or female sex. Shepchika lay there, and then she heard a dog scratching outside the door and howling so loud you just wanted to flee the house. She got frightened and, taking her poker, went to open the door. As soon as it was slightly open, the dog darted between her legs and went straight for the baby's cradle. Shepchika saw that it was no longer a dog, but the young miss. And if it had been the young miss looking the way she knew her, it would have been nothing. But there was this one thing and circumstance, that her eyes were burning like coals. She grabbed the baby, bit its throat, and began drinking its blood. Shepchika cried out and fled. She ran to the attic because she saw that the front doors were locked. The foolish woman sat there trembling, and then she saw that the young miss was coming to the attic. It was morning before Sheptun got his wife out of there, blue and bitten all over, and the next day the foolish woman died. That's what arrangements and temptations can happen. Though she's the master's progeny, all the same, a witch is a witch. After this story, Dorosh looked around smugly and poked his forefinger into his pipe, preparing to fill it with tobacco. The material about the witch became inexhaustible. Each in turn hastened to tell something. At last the whole company came to their senses and saw that they had been talking too much because it was already quite dark outside. "Well now, Mr. Homer, it's time we went to the deceased," said the grey-haired Cossack, turning to the philosopher. And the four of them, Spirid and Dorosh included, went to the church, swinging their knouts at the dogs, of which there were many, and which angrily bit at their sticks. The philosopher, though he had fortified himself with a good mug of vodka, secretly felt timorousness creeping over him as they drew near the littered church. The tales and strange stories he had heard helped to affect his imagination still more. The darkness under the paling and trees began to thin. The place was becoming barer. They finally stepped past the decrepit church fence into the small yard. Together with Homer, the three Cossacks climbed the steep steps of the porch and went into the church. Here they left the philosopher, having wished him a successful performance of his duty, and locked the door on him as the master had ordered. The story continues in part 11.